Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, attorney and founder at Meldon Law, and we have a great show for you today. My friend Daniel Gray with Pixelemm is here, and we're going to talk all about how to build your business through some strategies that Daniel has developed over the years. Welcome to the show, Daniel. How you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing really, really good. Thank you, number one, for having me here. I'm just excited to be here and to learn more about how we can help people. That's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's very interesting because the way businesses work now, the internet is essential for any growing business. How did you get involved in Pixelemm, and what's your background that led you to success?
That's really good. So Pixelemm at its core is an online search directory. It's kind of a solution to a problem without all the noise. And for many, many years, do you remember the phone book?
I sure do. I used to spend a ton of money on the phone book.
There's so many people that I come into contact with that they don't remember the phone book, but I do. I'm of a certain age. So I remember the phone book because we used to get to make up our own mind. Now, what options did you have in the phone book? You could bold your ad. You could highlight your ad.
You could buy a big old two-page colorful color double truck.
I was going to say, and if you're Meldon Law, you probably got both pages and maybe the front cover, the back cover too. So we wanted to put the power of choice back in the hands of the people. And the way that we did that was we created a platform to where when someone searches for a problem based on their keyword, like with you, for instance, with Meldon Law, if someone has, they got into an accident, it could be a truck accident. It could be a semi-truck. It could be something with premise liability. I mean, you name it. If they search that keyword in one single click, they're going to find their solutions, and you happen to be the number one solution for that. So you come up first.
They call that organic?
Organic SEO. And the way that it happens is when your brand comes onto Pixelemm, it actually links with other brands that are there. And because of our backlinks, and all the other SEO jargon that we don't have to get into.
Well, I love this is stuff I've been studying for years and years.
Perfect.
So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and search engine, you just think of Google. Whenever you put something in, Google decides who's going to be on page one, right?
Exactly right. And a lot of people spend a lot of money, and you know well, right? They spend a lot of money every single month trying to be at the top. Well, on Pixelemm, the way that the algorithm is set up, there is no favoritism. So when someone searches, they truly are given all the options locally because it's geolocated to their phone. They're going to find out their options right there within 5, 10, or 15 miles from where they're at right now. The idea behind it was so that they shop local. We want them to find somebody right here at home that they can know, like, and trust. Now, it's up to them to make the phone ring, right? That's
Correct.
what the phone book used to do. When we got in an accident, we called 2 or 3 people. Well, if on Pixelemm, it's going to give them the 2 or 3 options based on their search, and they're going to get to call you finally instead of just looking at a rating, a ranking, or a review, because we don't have any of those. There's no ratings, rankings, or reviews because we wanted the person to actually make the action of calling you. Talking to a person. You know, if I get in an accident, I don't want to talk to a robot. I want to talk to a human being.
Now, you showed me a little bit about how your system works. So if you get to a company that you're interested in talking to, you can you actually go to their website or call them directly?
Absolutely. Within a single search, when you click on that company's tile, you can call them, go to their website, or email them with one click. You can learn more about them. You can actually click on their address and map your location to that business. You can click more and see all of their social media profiles for every social media platform that they have. And in a single click, they're going to your Instagram, they're going to your TikTok, they're going to your Twitter feed, or maybe they're going to your LinkedIn profile. It's all available at one touch.
So, what about as far as how people, download, or get to Pixelemm? Do you have an app that people download?
We do. So we're web-based at Pixelemm.com. That's mostly for the businesses that are coming on with us. And then on the App Store, it is a free download. So they will literally type in Pixelemm or Pixelemm.com. And then the app will always be free to the user. We will never charge the public to use our platform. The business pays anywhere from $10 a year to $100 a year to have their tile with us. So we wanted to make it a no-brainer price-wise, but we wanted to make it even easier for the user, because I don't feel like they should have to pay for this. It's a resource.
Well, and you're competing with Google, so Google doesn't charge, so you can't charge, right?
Exactly right. I mean, they have a good model. Just like I said, when you remember the phone book, you remember when Google wasn't around, right?
I certainly do.
That was such a weird word when they were first teaching us, and they've trained us well. Because I'm just as guilty. If I need to research something, I'm gonna Google it. That whole expression. If I want to learn how to change my oil, what are you gonna do? You're gonna YouTube it, and you can learn so much. But when you have a problem and you need a solution, people will eventually Pixelemm, and it's gonna take us a while. It's gonna take us. We can go a little faster than Google because they were first. They were unleashing a brand new market. Now, with the power of social media and beyond, we can grow exponentially faster at a fraction of the cost, thank God.
So let me get this straight. What you're doing is you've got a search engine called Pixelemm. Folks can download it for free. You focus in on local businesses and geo-target the businesses closest to wherever the cell phone user, or if you're at home and you want to use your desktop, same thing, right?
Yes.
No problem. Now, once people download this, how do they do the search? Is it just like Google, where there's just a search bar and you just type in whatever you want?
We always start with the search. It has obviously the name Pixelemm. That way they know where they're at. They know which platform they're searching. The bar, as soon as they type in a keyword or key phrase. So just like I gave you the example, truck accident. Not everybody speaks like that. Most people say, "I got in an accident." If one of your key phrases is "I got in an accident," it's going to pop up with those options. The cool part is, as soon as you start to search, it's then able to either A, geolocate you from your phone, or B, you can actually type in, let's say you're looking for a family member. Okay, if mom and dad are the ones that got in the accident, they're the ones in the hospital. I can actually, as a user, I can go on, I can search in their zip code. Let's say I live out of state. I can search in their zip code the options within that same radius.
So how many different areas are you targeting as far as your growth for Pixelemm?
That's a great question. The first area of growth is the state of Florida, because you got to start at home. Okay. Right. I feel like.
And you're an Ocala guy, right?
I am an Ocala guy, yes. So we started in Ocala, and all of the chamber partners, we have 1,400 chamber partners, they're on Pixelemm. That's our base. That's our foundation. Now, when I travel to other locations, like let's say here in Gainesville, I just met with the Gainesville Chamber. We are targeting chambers first because that's where the businesses are. And they want to add it to their program for all chamber partners. Now, if we're able to do that, I then can say, well, Gainesville, Ocala's doing it. Why aren't you doing it? And then as soon as we go, well, Gainesville and Ocala are doing it. Tampa, why aren't you doing this? And as we grow as organic as possible like that, we'll eventually, in a great way, conquer the state of Florida. And then at the same time, we'll be able to go to Georgia and say, Georgia, Florida's doing this. Why aren't you doing this? We are nationwide right now. We have about 30, 40 companies within 12 states that are already starting to branch out because it's starting to grow organically just through word of mouth. So we're capable of conquering the entire nation at once. I just know if you're going to do it strategically, you start with home, take care of the house first, build a good solid foundation, and then move from there.
Are there any ad platforms on Pixelemm?
Zero.
Okay,
Zero.
which makes it much different. So for those of you that use Google or Facebook or YouTube, there's always ads, right? And
Of
that's
course.
how they pay for
Gotta
it.
pay the bills.
They got to pay the bills. So how do you operate without an ad platform?
That's a great question as well, because I would say the number one answer is I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. I know that there's a lot of businesses out there that are not necessarily struggling, but there's a lot of new businesses. There's a lot of businesses that have been spending millions and millions of dollars every year on advertising. And my goal is not to eliminate the other companies. My goal is to go side by side. Now, without charging the users, the fact that they get to use it for free, since we only charge $10, $50, or $100, depending on the size tile that someone chooses, when that grows exponentially, it only takes 10,000 businesses across the nation of 40 to 50 million businesses. 10,000 of those is worth $1 million a year every year.
Well, that's significant. So do you ever branch out beyond Pixelemm into SEO for people's websites and other applications?
We actually, there's a two-parter there, because when someone joins Pixelemm, their organic SEO goes through the roof.
Why is that?
Well, because of our backlinks, when your site and your brand links with my site and my brand, we are linking together in a way that when Google and other search platforms pick your SEO up, we're raising, the tide is rising all ships. So as if you were to Google right now, the word Pixelemm, just the word, forget the .com, that's the cheat code. If you just search the word, we're the first 3 pages of Google, and we haven't given them $1. Okay? So when it comes to our brands, the more brands that link on there, the better and the better it's going to get. When it comes to our indexed pages, that is going to be probably the most valuable part of Pixelemm.
When you say your index pages,
Yes.
What are you referring to?
So a normal website may have, let's say you have a 3 to 5 page website. And on that 3 to 5 pages, you have, let's say you have 5 subpages. So now you have 25 indexable pages. And Google picks up on those indexes, and it starts to give that a value, an SEO value. The reason that we don't reach out and help other people with their SEO is because we have great partners, great brand partners that are already on Pixelemm. We want to give them that business. So we're really good at what we do, and we know that we have good partners that are gonna really knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm always interested in backlinks because at Meldon Law, we're fairly serious about getting our message out to the public and letting them know who we are, and creating a website that's easy to navigate.
Yes.
And our coaches and our webmasters always tell them, well, backlinks, and there's a lot of different strategies. And then they'll go, here's your authority ranking, right?
Yes. Yes.
You know what your authority
yeah.
ranking is?
Not offhand, because we're growing every single day. So
Okay. Well, anyhow.
my developers better know it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but authority ranking, it's like how Google views you as far as your authority, and it doesn't mean whether you're good or bad. It kind of means how good you are at creating content.
Yes.
That's a big part of it, and then also the number of visitors, the how you deal with other companies, and the backlinks are an indication of what other companies or educational enterprises, University of Florida or Santa Fe College or
Yes.
Central Florida College in Ocala, all of that, right? Backlinks have value.
Yeah. I would say, what are we doing to get somebody to our site? And then what are we doing to keep somebody on our site? Now, solving the problem is what it's been about day one,
Okay.
since day one. So when they go to your website, that user experience should be simple. It should be very, very easy to navigate. And I know for a fact, because I've been on your website, and when someone has a problem, their solution is within 2 clicks away. They're at least going to find the subcategory and how to contact somebody to get better information. So when I think about other, like when I look at brands and I see their websites and I see that I've got to go to page 2 and I got to go to click 5, I'm not the guy to scroll. You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
want my solution in the top. But when it comes to like a Google search, for instance, I don't want who paid the most to be at the top. I want really the person that has organically grown their brand enough to justify me making the phone ring.
Well, and that's one of the big things we did starting in 2020. We partnered up with the Florida Gators.
Yes.
And that's a huge brand and has credibility. And we were lucky enough to have them choose us to be their partners.
Yes.
And we take that responsibility seriously because they're a great brand. We want to co-brand with them. What's interesting is there's some websites that actually have the solutions there, and you don't need to call anybody. So if you go to Amazon and you want to buy some diapers for your baby, right?
Yes, yes.
Easy peasy, right?
Yes, oh yeah.
Whereas if you're in a serious car crash, we want our call to action to be give us a call because every case is unique, and it just doesn't make sense when you might have $1 million case to try to do it just by figuring out online, number one, do you need a lawyer, and number two, who to call.
That's right. And it seems like if someone was to go to your website and not have a call to action within the first probably less than 2 scrolls and then probably 1 to 3 clicks with somebody human in your industry, that's huge. I want to, when I'm dealing with something so traumatic, no matter what it is, if I need a lawyer, something's traumatic, there is a crisis somewhere. I want to know that I'm talking to somebody that's going to help me. And you can't do that over the computer yet, right? It's not real enough yet. So when we talk to somebody, we can hear the compassion in their voice. We can hear that they truly want to help us and give them an outcome, or at least a glimpse of the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's so interesting that you talk about that because we're actually investigating and looking at the options of having AI evaluate in real time our phone calls with prospective customers, and if the intake specialist that's handling it needs to show more compassion, AI can actually direct them to be more compassionate, or you forgot to ask this question, or go to this topic now. And the idea of having AI do that in real time is fascinating to me.
I mean, it's invaluable because I've been in sales a long time and I've been in the people business a very long time. Not everyone can hear just by inflection alone that person is struggling to convey their message. They may be trying to get something across to one of your representatives and they're just not picking up on it. So I am all about AI assistance. I really am. I'm a big proponent of that. So more power to you, and I can't wait to see that in action. I would love to see a live phone call. If I'm allowed to, I don't know. I don't know if there's regulations.
We'll take the names out, and then you
go.
can see the interaction. But what we're actually doing today is that we have coaches. Because when folks call in, they want to be treated. We want them to be treated with, the Ritz-Carlton experience. When you come there, they're gonna listen to what you have to say. You're gonna be treated with, white glove experience. You're gonna that the person you're talking to is gonna be knowledgeable, helpful, get you to if you have to talk to someone else in the law firm, they're gonna get you to that person without jacking you around and make it seamless. And as a matter of fact, one of our goals is to actually deal with people's problems on the first call.
Yes.
Right?
Please.
You're in sales. Please. Okay.
Yes.
It's
goes
not
cold
like
quick.
It's not like, oh, we'll call you back in 10 minutes. And that's old school now.
It really is. Yeah. There is no let me follow up with you tomorrow. I don't like that F word at all. Let's solve the problem.
Let's solve the problem.
Let's at least solidify that we now have a relationship.
Correct. And that's really you're using Pixelemm as a tool to help people find folks that are going to solve their problem quickly, and that's why local is so important.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been in Marion County now for 45 years. Okay.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I've had offices there for 45 years. Even though I live in Gainesville, I would say I'm local to
Yes,
Ocala
absolutely.
because I've been there so long, and we have our office in Ocala is right across from Advent Hospital, right on 1326 South Pine Avenue.
Yes.
And it's in a very prominent location in a historic building.
It is.
Our building used to be Cameo Photo
Yes,
Shop,
it did.
and it looks like something out of Happy Days.
Yeah.
and it's we bought it for that reason, because it was a distinguished building, and we want to keep it that way. We're actually in a major renovation right now because we like serving the people of Ocala, and just about everybody uses either 200 or 17th Street or 441.
It's so
South
true.
Pine, right?
A lot of clicks on that road.
A lot of clicks on that road.
I've lived in Ocala my entire life. I was born when Advent was Monroe, third floor, and that building, like when it was Cameo Photo for the majority of my life. So I'm very happy that you're in that building. I'm happy that you've kept the nostalgia on the outside, but then you can renovate anything you want on the inside. Bring it up to today. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And, it is. That whole area is growing. It's only going to get better. Now, they've done some traffic rerouting here recently that's supposedly going to help down the road, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well, as long as we have 50,000 people drive by our office every day and make sure they see us, that has some value. However, our giving back to the community in different ways, just like having this podcast to spotlight local folks, we think is the best way for us to compete with the big box stores, the big box law firms who are, out of the area and don't really have a sense of the community and don't really involve themselves in the community. Whereas at Meldon Law, we feel a deep commitment to be involved in the community. And I think what I hear you saying is that's how you're growing your business as well.
Absolutely. I've been in family business my entire life. And I told my dad, I joke with him about this all the time, because my dad, my grandfather, and my grandmother are all entrepreneurs. He started his entrepreneurial over at 30 years old. He had always worked for somebody up until that point. And at 30 years old, we came back to Florida after being gone for a year, and he started with nothing. And he's become extremely successful between then and now. In the last 33 years, he's revolutionized our family's life. He's revolutionized the legacy that we're building for our family and friends. And at the same time, he's inspired me that it doesn't matter. We'll rebuild it. If we had to start over today, we'll do it again, and probably twice as fast. My grandmother passed away in 2021 from COVID, and she was the light of my life. She was so encouraging, and so she's the one that told me that I could do this, that I could build this brand, and that I could I could change the world with this. And now it's a grandmother's bias of love. And what she inspired me to do was to get to work and don't quit. She's a self-made woman the same way. But more importantly, I've created an initiative called the Virginia Joe Initiative to help end childhood poverty in Marion County, starting with Marion County. So that it's in our baby phase, just getting started, just getting our feet on the ground with nonprofit. But there's no reason to make all that money. I told you the money's good. If I get 10,000 people, that's $1 million. But how much do I really need? I have a great life, a great wife, a great daughter, a great family. And so I would say right now at this point, I have everything I need to be successful in life. I want to give, and I want to give at levels that changes people's outcomes. I want to give at a level that not only ends childhood poverty, but let's conquer literacy at the same time. You know what I mean? And those are big tasks.
Yeah, something that's near and dear to me. As a matter of fact, I've had meetings around the city of Gainesville to try to figure out how to create programs to improve childhood literacy, number one. Number two, create opportunities for hardworking young people to be able to succeed in life. It's very interesting. We're here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. You can see all the helmets that Steve Spurrier had through his career. Every one of these is a team he played for or coached. And Freddie Wiebe is the managing partner out here at our 26th annual Scholar Athlete Banquet last month. Freddie was a keynote speaker, and he talked about success, and he gave example after example of people who are the most successful, the wealthiest people in our country and in the world who did not have extensive education, but they worked really hard, and they did things that were novel, that they did things that other people weren't willing to challenge themselves to do, and that persistence and determination is very, very important. Not that in any way I'm minimizing education, because I went to law school. I spent 7 years in higher education and got a Juris Doctorate, and it certainly helped me. However, the road to success is not limited just because you don't have a PhD or a JD or an MD or a master's degree or even a bachelor's degree. It has more to do with a vision, being persistent and determined.
Yes. I love that. Write that one down. Write that down and speak it loud. Persistence. Well, that's a very powerful word, because I agree. I wanted to go to college long term. Like, I thought, okay, go get a degree. I wanted to be an architect. Mm-hmm. That was the beginning. And I got my associates, and then I had an opportunity to take over my father's moving company to help partner and work with my brothers and my dad. And it changed my trajectory of life. I became an entrepreneur for the first time. And I'm a proponent that if your career requires higher learning, then please go get higher learning. If you have a path for entrepreneurship that doesn't require that, then dig in and double down and be persistent. Don't give up and keep trying. There's going to be plenty of failure, but it's
There's every successful person has a trail of failure behind them.
Amen. Yeah, I love my failures. I love my failures.
Well, around my office now, every once in a while I'll poke my head in. My son's the managing partner, and Carrie's doing an amazing job. And every once in a while I say, hey, gang, let me jump in here for a minute because I've had so many failures in my life that I know a lot of stuff to avoid, okay?
That's
and
right.
that if there's a very important maxim, and that is if you're not failing at some stuff, that means you're not trying enough new things.
Absolutely.
And that you need to think outside the box and come up with ideas, pursue them. Not everyone is going to be a success. However, if you are persistent and determined, you will find success. It's just a matter of what road you're journeying down. So
that's really good.
So I want to have you tell everybody how to get a hold of you at Pixelemm.com.
Absolutely. So Pixelemm, you see it on the screen. It's Pixelemm.com. So go to the website. Try it out. It's absolutely free for users. If you're a business or a brand, you can contact me at 352-250-8208. I'm going to answer the phone because I believe in old school. I believe in the way that it used to be. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible and then be able to walk you through just how fast it is to sign up for Pixelemm and how to get your brand seen like never before.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show, Daniel. It's Pixelemm.com, Pixele, 2 M's,
Yes.
MM. And if you're trying to grow your business, you need help. And Daniel Gray and the team at Pixelemm is there to help you out. So thank you very much for joining us. And we'll be right back with a few announcements on Meldon Law and Friends. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there. And I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again.
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey! Somebody else hit us.
Here we go again. Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, founder and attorney at the Meldon Law Injury Law Firm, and we are serving you all over the state of Florida. As a matter of fact, we have an office in Fort Lauderdale and in Aventura, so give us a call, 352-373-8000, or go to meldonlaw.com. Things going on in north central Florida. We have the World Masters Athletic Indoor Championships in Gainesville from June 8th to June 14th at the Alachua County Sports and Events Center. That's pretty cool. There's going to be international track and field events, and it's air conditioned, which makes it comfortable because it's so friggin' hot out. And they're going to have master athletes from around the world competing in various indoor disciplines. So I suspect master means older, maybe, older than 50. I don't know, but check it out. June 8th through the 14th in Gainesville at the Alachua County Sports and Events Center. So just Google Alachua County Sports and Events Center, and I'm sure it'll be on the list of things and what times it'll be going on. And we're right here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, right next to the Sports Center. So enjoy it. Ocala at the World Equestrian Center all summer long. Elite hunter jumpers inside, indoor arenas, dining options, shopping, and it's going to be comfortable at the World Equestrian Center, and they have the top hunter jumpers in the world that come through their beautiful event center down there. I mean, the whole place is like Disney World on steroids. It's just amazing. June 29th, Red, White, and Also Blue in Ocala at the Riley Center. Celebrate with the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, OSO. OSO. When I read OSO here, I didn't understand what it meant, but it stands for the Ocala Symphony Orchestra. And they're going to be having a Red, White, and Also Blue presentation featuring patriotic music and a salute to our troops. Again, that's June 29th at the Riley Arts Center, 500 Northeast 9th Street in Ocala. The Williston Watermelon Festival, June 14th at Heritage Park. Meldon Law sponsors them, and they're going to be over 100 vendors, food trucks, live music, free entertainment, and free watermelon. So don't miss your opportunity for free watermelon. Now's the time when all the watermelon comes up to our part of Florida. The middle of June is when watermelon really gets prime, and it's all over the place. And we ship it to, the rest of the country. This is one of the main watermelon growing areas, and we have an awful lot of watermelon all over north central Florida. So check it out. Finally, I just want to mention we've updated buying Florida auto insurance. It's really important for you to know what kind of insurance to buy. And you can't do it after a crash. In Florida, 50% of the people have $10,000 or less in liability insurance because liability insurance is not required. You have 1 out of 2 chance of finding somebody with something more than $10,000 worth of insurance company for your case. So you better buy uninsured motorist coverage. That's the key. I recommend at least $100,000 per person, $300,000 per crash. It's not expensive, particularly if you have a decent driving record. So check it out. It's free. Florida Auto Insurance book that I wrote with my son, Kerry. And all you have to do is to call the office, 352-373-8000, and ask for the auto insurance book, Buying Florida Auto Insurance, or go online to meldonlaw.com, and right at the top of the homepage, there's a button you can press, and you can download it in a PDF version immediately. It's we don't sell it. It's free. The idea is to give you the information so that you can protect yourself and your family in the event of a serious accident and not set you back years and years and years where it takes 5 years for you to recover from a crash, both physically and financially. So we're there to help. Anyhow, that's going to be a wrap for the show on Meldon Law and Friends. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to go. you're going to find Meldon Law. And we thank you very much. And that's a wrap for this week.